Hi, I'm Bud Summers, Guitar Lessons with Bud. The last couple of sessions we've been working with soloing using major chord forms. We used the F form, the first lesson using this. We used the F form, which would normally be down here. And of course it's movable, up to G, up to A. At A in the fifth position, if we were doing it there, we'd have A, C sharp, E, and A. And we talked then about using the notes outside of the chord. So we had supplemental notes outside of the chord. We did that, and in the second session that we did, number 2, we used the D chord form, which you know a regular D chord, and we added that note on the 4th string, the F sharp there, and you could go to the 5th string, of course, but we mainly concentrated on the notes on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings, I think, and then, you can go on to the 1st string too, but we looked at the notes in the chord, little arpeggio like that, and then we said, okay, well, there's notes that we're not using in the chord, but we can use them in soloing. All right, so this time now we're going to go with a different form. Those 2 chord forms we used to move following the chord progression. And now we're going to take the A form, the A chord. Technically, I was taught when I was studying classical guitar, I was taught that the bass way to do this, which the bass way is just the main way you're going to learn it, would be to put that 1st finger there, 2nd finger across, and 3rd finger here. A bass way doesn't mean that you're going to B-A-S-E, by the way, not bass guitar. Bass way doesn't mean that you're always doing it that way. It means that's the way you fall back on. And whatever the situation is, you do it the appropriate fingering for your situation. Of course, some situations we're just laying the finger across there. Some situations we're using other fingers entirely. Anyway, so this looks like the A form. Now, this is a pretty easy one. I'm going to move it on up here to the 5th position here, and right here this would be a C, of course. Okay, G, C, E are the notes I've got on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings, but it's pretty simple. You're going to have those notes there, and then the notes that we're going to add okay, so those notes are all available. Now we could take and let's do this, the key of C. Go to the F. Now for this, if we're going to maintain that same chord form, we're going to need to go up here. We have to have this position will give us back to C. G7, so we need now a G. Okay, now what I would suggest that you try to do now, you get familiar with that, and then that's those 3 different major chord forms are all good. Once you're familiar with them, though, what a good thing that you can do is take, let's say in the key of G, let's just take it the 3rd position here. Let's start with that F form. And let's imagine that the chord progression is just staying on at G, the rhythm. I'm going to start. Then, let's say it stays on the G. I'm going to go to another form, though. Let's say I've decided, okay, I'm done some licks there, I've done a little bit. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to take the next chord form, that D form. So we're still. And then we're going to go to the we're going to stay on a G, but now we're going to go ahead and use this new form. So you could make yourself a track. You could just do with your loop, or you could just, with just a G. And work through all three different forms. Of course, as you get more comfortable with that, then of course you can set up your looper or recording, or however you do your practice things. And of course, you can just go back and do your 1-4-5 chord progression. And it doesn't have to be a bluesy thing, and it can certainly be country is fine. Country blues, you can do a little more jazzy thing. Whatever you want to do. But the key is to practice using these three forms, moving around on the neck to different places, and being able to get to the right spot to be playing the notes that you want to play over that chord. I hope you enjoyed this and have some fun. Play your guitar, and I'll see you next time.